Hello, everybody. Good morning, and thanks for being here today. I'm super happy today to chat with Philip. I met him at ITB some weeks ago, and I said, "Wow, we have to chat about what you do with our audience." So I'm super happy to be here with him today, and I don't want to waste time, so I want to jump right in. And so, Philip, if you can tell us something about what you guys do, who are you, and why you started this, and what are your strengths and your cool things.
Sure, I could do that. First of all, thank you very much for the invitation. So very happy to be here. So we're in contact since a year, and until today, it's always a great cooperation with you. So I think it's good to be in such a chat to tell our audience also what we are doing together. First of all, what is fewoFlow? fewoFlow is a PMS system founded in 2009 in Germany. Basically, our founder, came from the industry. He was asked by an agency to develop for them a kind of PMS at this time, right?
With agency, you
So
mean property managers as well, right?
exactly. So we say agency, property manager, exactly. So, but here we're talking about bigger ones. So at this time, it was one which is still our first client on the island of Sylt. So a very prominent and good performing destination.
Where
Hannah,
is it? Where is it for the audience? Where is the location
okay,
exactly?
if you see Germany, right, on the
Yeah,
landscape, you have on the right-hand
yeah.
side the Baltic Sea, left-hand side you have the North Sea, and it is one of the first islands on the North Sea, right? So very
Interesting, interesting.
prominent. People like it to go there. So my private vacation will be there in August as well. So I'm looking forward. Exactly, and they, had a lot of challenges to face, and because of the demand for the island, and yeah, and Hannah, our founder, started to build the system. It was a kind of boutique who built the tech stack for the agencies, and yeah, by the years, more and more came through, and then Hannah also stepped into the process to say, okay, we need to open distribution as well for those customers, right? Not only the direct distribution, but also the indirect distribution. And then Hannah came into contact with a brand which is called Travanto. Travanto is I would say, an OTA specialized on vacation rentals, and they also developed a channel manager. And this was then the time to say, okay, we integrate also a channel manager into the solution. And then we developed the tool further step by step until 22. And then Travanto took over 50% of the company. And I'm also a shareholder. So the three of us running the company today. And
So today, just to understand, is one entity, right? So the two companies are pretty much the same thing.
We are running as an independent entity, and Travanto is investor. And what they basically do is they give us intercompany solutions. That means we are a core team of experts in account management, sales, and tech. But everything around, you also know from Smartness, right? Having HR and finance department. This is managed by an intercompany agreement, and they support us if we need this. So therefore, we are very slim but efficient in developing our solutions and growing the team, growing the customers. So that's currently the way we are doing. So we are moving from I would say, boutique development company into a SaaS company, which we are today. So, and we're offering today a PMS system for smaller vacation rental owners, private owned. So we're starting with 5 listings, and then we're going up to 500. So this is the scale of our customer base.
And they can list on Travanto as well, right? So when they use your PMS, they can use they can list their properties.
What do you mean with lease properties?
So the user of the PMS can be found on Travanto as well or not?
Exactly. So you have to look. Toronto is a company who is in the market since beginning of 2000, so it's very established, and they started as a OTA for listings at this time, not direct bookings. And then they realized, okay, listings, it is still working, but the new strategy is on direct bookings. So they moved over into develop a channel manager solution. Then they offered their clients as well those channel managers, and they could maintain the system in order to be distributed to all the OTAs in the market. So that is Travanto, and additionally they have their main website, travanto.de, and then they have a lot of regional portals. One portal is called Sylt Travel or St. Peter-Ording Travel, and those portals are very powerful for the vacation rentals because there's a lot of traffic and they'll generate their bookings. But from Travanto, you also be distributed to all the well-known OTAs like Booking.com, Expedia, or what else, right? So that's the concept. And we as fewoFlow, we are a complement to the company because there was no PMS in place. Right. And whenever there was a vacation rental owner, growing and the need of a PMS came through, right, they left because there were no solution of a PMS in place. So, and we now came into the company, we have this PMS, and we don't lose the customers. We can offer as well the PMS, and that's a strategy we are following.
Interesting. And how many direct bookings do you manage per day with Travanto?
This is always a good question. Basically, what I can say is that if we look into all the different streams we have, so public bookings, right, on the public websites and on the regional portals, as well with the pure standalone channel management solution, and as well with our PMS solution and the integrated channel manager, we are generating slightly below 100 million euros turnover a year.
Okay.
So, and if you would break this down on a agency level, I would say that an agency with 120 to 150 listings, right? They're managing. There can be, a production of 5,000 bookings a year, but this is a mix of direct and indirect bookings they generate, right? So we also offer a website solution. We have an external company who is offering services, but we would have also the opportunity that you build your own website, right? And therefore we have channel manager production, and we have as well direct bookings through the website, right? Through the own website, and as well to activities the agencies are starting.
Cool. So you manage quite a lot of money in terms of direct bookings as well.
It's a lot, yeah.
And can you share some? I'm always I run a property manager as well. I mean, I'm a majority shareholders. We manage around 100 apartments, and I'm always interested in understanding how to increase the direct bookings. And since you're such an expert, maybe you can share some secrets, some other point that can be used by our audience on a daily basis.
I mean, that's always a good question. So you know where we come from. So we are in PMS, right? So therefore we are offering a technical solution in the end, right? And this is what can be used from the agencies in the end, right? So in our solution, there are several opportunities to run your direct bookings. For sure, at first, the website, but a website is a website. If there's no activity on the website, you will not have traffic, right? So therefore, we will see that we help to optimize the website in terms of SEO, SEA, retargeting opportunities, but as well, solutions and modules of newsletter opportunities you have, right? We have a lot of agencies, before they activate rates for the next year or for the following year, right? They tend to send out an offer to their guests, repeating to the agencies, and offer them their listings before it will go into the OTAs, right? So therefore they offer maybe a nice discount.
Interesting. Yeah. So before opening up on OTAs, they say, hey,
exactly.
Listen. So it's very important to know that you can find us on our website, but not on OTAs for the time being. Interesting.
Exactly. So that's maybe a time frame of, I don't know, 14 days, 20 days, whatever, right? And then they send out the newsletters to the customers with a special offer and say, come back now, book directly. You can book your preferred object you have in the market, right? And can make sure that you reserve it for you and before we open it to people coming from Booking or from other channels as well. Yeah,
That's super interesting. Super interesting. And you see that
absolutely.
using, do you see your clients using this a lot?
It's for me, it's also one of the next questions may we will discuss. But the challenge of an agency owner is so big, right? They have so many tasks to do, so it's always a question of the setup of the agency. So how many time they have, how many time they are willing to invest into this. But I would say a third of our customers using this opportunity every year before they start into the season. Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. And so I assume you speak with hundreds of property managers every year, agencies and homeowners. And so what is the biggest challenge they face in general and more on the OTAs and the cows that might generate having a lot of OTAs? And so you see what's your insight?
I would say, again, due to the fact that there are so many tasks they have to consider, right? And this is starting from distribution. This is starting from getting new homeowners, giving their apartments to distribute them and to maintain them, but it's also to keep them on board, right? To get them motivated, to serve them with revenue, or also with information that they have a good feeling that their apartment or their vacation rental is in good hands, right? So there's so much to do, and there's so many tasks they have to cover in the end, right? From my perspective, the distribution part is pretty much covered due to good channel management solutions. And if you have a good brand in place, I don't see this as the biggest challenge. And if we look into our day-to-day business, it is if we talk about tickets, for example, right? That's the only way you can handle the number of incoming questions and challenges agencies have. So I would say it's 2 to 3% of the whole total volume of tickets we are getting today. So
So
the challenge.
50%, can you go deeper a little bit on this 2-3%?
Yeah, that means the whole amount of tickets we're getting. So we categorize the tickets into different themes, right? This is a technical question. This is just a usage question because they do not know how to maintain or how to use, right? And if you come back to the channel manager part, it's a very small part. So maybe
Okay.
3%. Yeah,
It's not that
because
big. It's quite
it's not
small.
that it's not that big because the APIs we are getting from OTAs nowadays are so good, and you have to develop against it. Yes, maybe sometimes you have overlapping discounts, which are creating a challenge, and then in the end, the end price the agency is receiving is maybe not matching with what they have into their systems. So, but this is very, very small. So I would say we have covered the distribution side very, very good.
Very well.
Yeah. So, but there are so many other complex themes. Look at DAC. May you hear about DAC7, which is a European regulatory. Hope I had explained this correctly. So here you have to collect data from your homeowners. And you have to report in the end the number of bookings and revenue to the authorities, right? And to follow all this regulatories, this is as well a big challenge for them, right? And they have to get this knowledge. They have to have a partner who is develop a technical solution for them to cater these needs
Do, do,
they
do
have
you
in the
guys feel,
everyday.
do you guys feel stronger about this? Do you guys feel like your solution is robust about this in particular?
I mean, we need to be on it, right? Otherwise, we have no chance to grow. And this is, in the end, it is a requirement from the agencies, right? They need to have everything in one platform, everything available. And also, if we look into your services, and we both we started an agreement together, and we have the first agencies now on it. And we are happy about it because also revenue management is a big topic, right? And your solution is delivering, an intelligent solution to, get rid of a day-to-day investment into this in maintaining, the rates individually. So this can be made through your systems, through your product, and this is running in the back. And this is giving new opportunities and new power for them to concentrate on other tasks, right? And this is in the end also our target to say, okay, how can we improve, enrich our system in order to help the homeowners or the agencies to concentrate on guests as well, right? Because you still have guests, they need also to have attention, right? And if you want to convert them into direct guests, this will not happen if you are not on it, right? If you not talk to them, right? So therefore, a good PMS system delivers everything you need to manage your day-to-day business in order to have enough time for your guests and manage and also your customers, which are the homeowners, to manage your business smoothly.
So the biggest challenge, what at the end of the day, what's really like the pain that you feel, like speaking with the revenue management. I agree with you, is a big pain, and it's a big pain. But I believe the person on the other side must be educated about that, because
Yeah.
otherwise he cannot say, "I just set the price. I don't care." I mean, anything change, because before you see results, it takes time with revenue
Mm.
management. So, but I agree with you that revenue management is a big topic. What else you see as main problem that rise on daily basis
Um,
as a PMS owner
in,
manager?
in the end, what is? I mean, KI is a big topic, right? And everybody is talking about KI, right? And
What's Sky? What's Sky?
künstliche Intelligenz, right? So to bring in, KI into your PMS, right? And then also the adaptation of the agencies, right? This is a big challenge as well, because they need to get used to it. But also on the other hand side, if we look into smart pricing, right? So it is good to have a partner like you. It is good to have it integrated, right? Because it's not raising the challenge that we have to maintain a different tool, so it's working smoothly. But on the other hand, you need to also convince your homeowner on that, right? And this is, for example, a big challenge, because if you look on average to the homeowners nowadays, this is an older generation, right? They get used to it to go every year into the planning, to define the seasons, to define seasonal pricing, and then to enter it into the system, and then it's running. They know in April I'm getting 100 euros per night, and that's fine, and that's my income. But if it comes to, for example, dynamic pricing, it's a different approach. That means you give something out of your hands, right? So it is not sitting there as the last 10 years and define your seasons. It is maybe giving just one price a whole year, and then it is going up or down according to the market needs and to the market trends, right? And this is causing on homeowner side a feeling that they lose control about their apartments and their vacation rentals. And here I think we need to do our homework also together with you, to help vacation agency owners to convince their homeowners in order to participate in those programs, because in the end everybody will benefit from it. So if you are too expensive, you will never sell your vacation rental, and as you know, if you have not sold it, it's not possible to get the revenue again, right? There's only one chance. And if you have the chance to get more, right, you can directly jump on this chance and sell to a higher price. So in the end, everybody will benefit. Yeah, the homeowner in having a better occupancy and in a higher rate. The vacation rental company who is also owning in between you, and so it's a win-win situation for everybody. So, and I think
Yeah.
this is one point where we can get better together and helping our agencies to deliver informations to support their clients, homeowners in this case, to jump on this and to get trust to this new product.
Yeah. Interesting. Besides revenue management, what are the problems you see with OTAs in general, like Booking.com, Airbnb? What are the things that you feel are problems with this? I mean, they are a huge, they are extremely important for everybody, for not everybody, but for a lot of homeowners. But what do you think is a
Mm.
problem today?
I'm always smiling a little bit of those questions because within my 33 years, I was also working around about 8 years for HRS. So in this case, more for the hospitality part. And the question are coming up since you have OTAs, right? Because because they deliver, yeah, because they deliver, and for sure you have to pay for it, right, for the service, right? And what's nice is to see production and to see occupancy, but if you get the paycheck to pay for the services, then there's always an you open your eyes and say, oh, that's a lot what I have to pay, right? So that means on nearly on each conference, the question is how to get more independent from OTAs. But I think the question should be, you know, how can we manage a coexistence with the OTAs? Because let's face it, we need both. We need to have a strong direct distribution, and we need to have a strong indirect distribution. And in the end, if you have a strong indirect distribution, you will get the customers into your vacation rentals, right? So they will be there on a certain day. And then it's your time to jump in and say, hey, how about to book next year directly? Or can I send you my newsletter? That's what we discussed before, right? And I think here really there needs to be more education on it and how to use on an intelligent way OTAs. And challenges from my perspective is, yes, Booking.com may have really strict rules, which are not according to the rules of the agency. But in the end, the rules are working because you see the results. The result is you get
Which
guests.
which rules you refer to? What are the main
cancellation
rules?
cancellation policy, right? I think Corona supported also a little bit the OTAs in order to have not such strict cancellation policies, or as well length of stay, right? So the market is changing constantly, right? The length of stay is going from
Done.
down, exactly. So, and this is what the OTAs they see it, because they have so many data, they can go into the data and they can react on it, right? But then, okay, why not adapt this also for your agency or for your vacation rental? So you need to make the best out of it. You need to learn from them as well, right? So, and this is, I think, a very important message I have to all who say it's maybe my enemy. It's not your enemy. It's what you make yourself out of it, from my perspective.
Yeah, makes sense. Completely agree. That's
Yeah,
a good point, and a good way to see that. And the goal is to balance that as much as possible, and to be
hmm,
able to have a strong presence for the
yeah,
bookings. Have
exactly.
a being able to capture the recurring clients, and especially in location like the ones that you mentioned earlier, right? Because
Yep.
people come back again and again and again.
That's basically a good point. Location, right? Not everybody is in prime locations. So in Germany, the North Sea is historically always a very, very strong destination. But if you look into the mid mountains area, right? So climate is changing globally. So we have mid mountains area. Whoever had, all the years before they ever had snow, but snow is not there anymore. So they need to find other ways to get customers. So therefore, they need to have OTAs to get the customers on their properties. And there's another aspect I like very much, and this is the billboard effect. So billboard effect is, it's maybe working a little bit better for hotels, because hotels are going as a strong brand into OTAs, and you recognize more, I don't know, an Accor or Marriott, or I don't know, an Atlantic Hotel in Hamburg. Yeah. But the billboard effect says in the end, customers are searching, right, for vacations. And when they search on OTAs, because here you simply have the most supply, right? So therefore they go on these tools where they have the most supply and they search, and then they select a couple of properties or they select a hotel brand or whatever. And then they may say, okay, let's go on other portals or let's go on direct websites. And this is so-called the billboard effect, right? It is also a positive effect for you when you are listed on portals to get people on your direct website. Yeah. So, and if you are not listed on those portals, you miss out the opportunity to be part of this billboard effect. Yeah.
Beside your portals, beside Booking.com, Airbnb, what are the ones that you consider more interesting at this point? What are the ones you say, hey, Luca, if you're as a friend, I tell you this and that.
I mean, what I personally really like and also see on Travanto side is what is very much and pretty much working are the specialized portals. So traveling with
Okay,
a dog with pets, right?
interesting. And what's
Or
like? Can you share a name of portal that specialize on that?
yeah, let's stay with Travanto. Maybe let's take Sylt Travel. So we adapted the site. So Sylt is the island, and we put travel behind. And nearly each agency or private homeowner on Sylt wants to be on this portal because we have, generic traffic since years.
Okay.
We have a very good listing in Google, and we perform very well because it is associated to the island, is associated to the name of Sylt, and that's what we are doing as a strategy. We associate the portals to the different prominent destinations. So, and this is working very well, and this is a good opportunity to the big ones as well, because you have some of them who don't want to go on Booking, even though I said the billboard effect is important, but you have those, right? And those you may find only on those local portals. And so therefore
Interesting.
you
So
have a
very, very, very specific OTAs for very specific purpose or locations are you feel that they are becoming
yeah,
more and more a solution for
yeah,
certain
yeah.
kind of targets.
Yeah, exactly. And on the top, you also still have some homeowners and agency, they prefer inquiries. So as you know, I was working for Traumferienwohnung before as an MD, and Traumferienwohnung was running inquiries only many, many years. And when we talk today to agencies, they're interested into our PMS. And when it comes to the channel manager, they say, oh, no, no, we just want to have inquiries. So there's maybe also additional portfolio on portals or on public websites which only offering inquiries because they will be never found on direct booking portals, right? So Traumferienwohnung still is a very strong brand in
But
Germany.
these work? Does this work in terms of like if I go maybe because I'm a certain target, but if I go on a website, I want to buy straight away, or sometimes just call them and say, hey, I want to come these days. Can you
Yeah.
can you can you can make this happen?
For sure, this was always a question we got, right? But in the end, it is liked by demand and supply because you bring them together, right? And demand likes it to talk to the homeowner, which you can't do if you book via Booking. It's completely without having a contact to the homeowner. And also the homeowner like it because they know which customers will arrive next week, right? There's maybe not a stuck party in my apartment, and we have really nice customers, and they respect my nice apartment and all the efforts I put into it, right? And that's mainly the argument from the homeowners because they say, okay, I know which people are coming, which people I'm renting out my apartment to. Yes, but you also lose conversion because sometimes owners aren't answering, right? Because it's not a direct opportunity. They may have already occupancy and they have not maintained the calendar. And this is the downside of this, right? You always have a positive side and you have a downside. But coming back to your question, on those portals you may find vacation rentals, but you can't find maybe on Booking.
Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. That I usually use the direct website of the hotel, but might make sense to have like a third party that is a little bit less heavy than Booking.com, Airbnb, that and have some other properties that the other don't.
Yeah, I also remember a portal in the hospitality industry at this time. I think it's still existing, called Escapio. And
Mm,
they made a pre-selection on criterias, right? So and this was more boutique hotels with special services. So if you would like also to drill it down to have direct offers, right? This is also an opportunity. Yeah.
interesting. And since you have such a great experience with your PMS and being very close to the, let's say, OTA side, I just do have a lot of properties to list on OTAs and on Travante, other portals. You need a lot of apartments as an agency, as a property manager, right? And so one big topic that I heard a lot of time is how can I grow the number of properties under management? Let's say that I manage 20, I want to go to 100. What are your your suggestion on acquiring them on the go-to market? So because a lot of time we don't think, because a lot of agency properties managers tell me, oh, I just wait for the call to come in, and they call me and say, hey, do you want to manage this? I say, yeah. And that's how they grow, totally
Yeah.
organically, and say, wow. And it happened in our case as well. As I said, we got like around 100 apartments, but most of them are word of mouth, and not really coming from a direct action.
Mm. I mean, just this morning, we had a customer here. So they have 30 own apartments, right? They own them. So they have no
30.
30. So it's a nice size, and they have pretty much nice apartments. And they passed by this morning, and the topic was to add, 2 apartments from a restaurant, which is nearby to their properties. And we're asking, how can we do that? So can we just add them, to the PMS and manage everything? So first of all, I think to grow your business is to know where you are located, how's the competition situation, and how is also the setup of my agency, right? This is important, right? Because if you grow massively, that means you need to cater the expectations of your homeowners, right? And if you don't deliver occupancy, good room rates, if you are not able to maintain everything, if the apartments are not clean, and I could extend the questions to thousands of those questions. So you need to make your homework, and you need to know what you are able to deliver and not. I think that's the most important question. And if you have the resources and everything around available, right, then you can start to grow. Yeah. And this is also another point, is you also need to be able to keep your existing customers, right? And this is a part of production and seriosity, and having a good system in place. But to get more means mainly also in some destinations to steal them from the competition. Yeah, because or to get some homeowners getting older, do not have the power to maintain it anymore, or they live in Munich and their apartment is on Sylt, right? And they can't maintain it, or they invested a lot of money and said at the beginning, oh, we only go there because we don't want to have, vacationers in our apartment. It was too expensive. But then they realize in the end, we are maybe only 3 weeks a year there, and the rest, the apartment is still not occupied. So, and this is maybe also the challenge, to get those homeowners on board, and to get known them, right? And if you know them, for sure you can grow. But my recommendation is to do this on a healthy level, right? Massively means you have to have all the setups in place in order to cater their needs, and that's a big risk.
Yeah, one thing that I worked for me in the past was to pay a rent, not to work on percentage. That
Okay.
pushed me very hard to be very efficient, to be, as you said, to be ready to pay the rent,
Yeah.
and to offer an exceptional service to the owners,
Hmm.
and to be able to manage operationally from A to Z. So if a couch is broken, I just go and change the
Exactly.
couch.
Yeah.
And one thing that it worked with me, for me, in the US, in UK, in Italy, with all the properties that we manage. I believe overall now we have under management over 100, but across my experience, I manage several hundreds. And one thing I know that a lot want the percentage; they request a percentage, but I personally prefer the fixed amount if, as you said, you are able to really managing your operational. And what I can say on acquiring properties, on my experience, is sounds crazy, but cold calling works again still, and offline advertising. It sounds crazy, huh? Like flyers. We print out hundreds of pieces of paper, and you give them out, and you get leads. And
and in the end, it's also restricted to a region, to a small area where you are with your agency, or you need to raise yourself the question: Am I able to grow like that? That I can also open offices in different destinations, and then it's going into logistic questions, right? So we have big agencies in Germany. They are spread through both areas, North Sea and Baltic Sea. This was coming step by step. They are also looking to acquire existing agencies. This could be also a way to grow massively, and it should be the way, because
interesting, interesting.
if you decide to grow massively, then it's maybe too hard to go one by one homeowner. Then may you have to look for agency, where the owner is, thinking about to hand over the business to someone else. And then, we currently see that also OTAs in the market are currently acquiring agencies. They're building a kind
Interesting.
of
Interesting.
network. They're building also in the back services, like a central point where they have their cleaning teams, where they have their laundry, where they have their
Wow.
maintenance teams, right? So, but then you really think big, right? Like when we think about the park businesses like the Villa, Dance Center, Center Parks, right? But this trend is also in the market, especially at the North Sea, Baltic Sea. I can't underline that for South Germany. I think it's more a smaller market, but for Baltic Sea, North Sea, we can see a trend that agencies are taking over other agencies in order to grow.
That's very interesting. So, if you have a property manager you want to sell, that might be a way to monetize. Or on the other side, if you want to grow as a property manager, just try to acquire existing agency. And I believe, I assume that the cost to acquire these agencies is not super high like a software company. So it might be interesting. I mean, you have to check for each of
Yeah, I
the
say I think
agency.
I agree. I think the costs is might be not such high, but I think that the challenge they have is the infrastructure, right? To build the infrastructure, and also you should never forget the human aspect in this. It is also not easy to get cleaning people, right? Cleaning all those apartments.
Do you
So
guys have this problem a lot as well, right? Like cleaning staff shortage, or you guys are you how this problem is has been faced?
since we are not dealing directly
Sure.
with the rental business, so we are just the software, but for sure we talk to our clients, right? And what we offer is efficient ways to work with the cleaning teams, right? To get their list, to have the apartment on an app. If you start to clean, you click on, and then you can see it
Oh,
in the
you offer this. You offer
yeah,
this.
we offer task management tools. So if someone is
Okay.
there to maintain something, right, it's closed. You can see it in our portal. If there's someone at the reception, right, you have the customers in front of you, and maybe the cleaning is earlier than expected. We directly send out newsletters and push message to the customers, maybe sitting in Hamburg in the car just 1 hour to Sylt, and they get a message, hey, you can check in 2 hours earlier. So this is something what we offer, and this is also releasing the agencies a little bit in this case, because they have to manage the cleaning
Hello, hello, hello. Technical
No, we are back.
problems.
Now
Okay,
we are
we're
back.
back. We're back. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, but you know, on a human side, for sure, this is a problem they have. I would say everybody has this in the
Okay.
market, but there are also some companies who are specialized on this in order to support. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, we have problem. The shortage is there, and like statistically looking at the numbers, we can see a shortage, a problem of demand
Yeah.
and offer and demand.
Yeah.
Definitely, we are facing that 100%. 100%. And a question that nowadays is mandatory is about AI and OTAs, AI, PMS, and all. What's working? I mean, because people, I believe, can you hear me? Hello.
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I lost you for a bit. So what's working? What's really working with you inside the company for your customers, and what's really making difference? And is there something is working?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I lost
Oh, okay. So we
you.
have some issues, but now we should be on, right? You know, coming to AI, you know, from my perspective.
Nope, I can't hear you anymore.
Now?
You looks. Let's try now. No, I'm not sure
Okay.
if it's me or if it's you.
So my line looks stable, but I don't know. Usually it should
Might
work.
be. I try to stop the camera.
I can do the same. Maybe it's
All right.
helping. Okay. Yeah, AI was your question, right?
Yeah.
From my perspective, you know, there's a long way to go for all of us in this, right? From my perspective, we're at the beginning of this. Or the PMS systems offering already a lot of services, right, which touch AI, but we can't grow in this, especially in the parts I recently explained you with supporting, you know, in cleaning and task management tools. This is something where we're looking into it, but also your services. And then for us, right, it is a question, you know, is it always necessary to develop this in-house, or can we find like a partner like you, Smartness, who can support us with the intelligent support with, for example, dynamic pricing? So that's the way we are going. We're looking exactly into it, where we can enhance our system by AI, like in terms of contact, in terms of descriptions, payments, and all this kind of questions. But on the other hand side, we are looking also into it, which companies specialize on certain services, like, for example, dynamic pricing. And then is there a way to cooperate? And that was also the way I contacted you. You were on a trade fair here in Hamburg, and we got into the discussion, and then we got your API, and now it's ready, right? And this is for me the way to combine the existing PMS system with own developments, and as well developments, you know, from companies who are specialized on specific tasks.
Interesting. So the key concept here is to look for companies that leverage AI, so that we don't waste time ourselves to build in-house the solution, but we rely on third-party software to make it happen, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's a way. For sure, you need to keep an eye on pricing also of your own services, because, you know, if you add more and more services, or if you maybe build a marketplace where a customer can select the services, they and if it makes sense, we do it. If it don't make sense and we can do it ourselves, we do it ourselves, right? So this is always a make or buy analysis we do, and that's the way how we implement AI step by step into our system.
That's great. And what's the to conclude that now we are finishing our time, and then
Mhm.
I don't want to steal too much of your time. what's the craziest experience, the craziest thing you experienced dealing with guests, property management? I know that you don't deal directly with guests, but you heard stories, and it's like the funniest thing to conclude with a smile.
Yeah, I was
Because
thinking.
everybody has when I speak with the industry operators, everybody have a crazy story to tell about many
Uh,
things. So what's yours?
Absolutely, and I was thinking about
I lost you.
can you hear me now? Can
Yes,
you hear me?
yes, yes,
Okay. So
yes.
I hope Henna is following this podcast, because he made this. What I'm explaining now is, we all had this awful time of COVID, right? And when there was a lockdown everywhere. So we had a certain regions in Germany who made some pilot regions in order to open for tourism again, right? But this process, had some restrictions in order to deliver vaccination status and all of this kind of stuff, right? To basically give the agencies the opportunity to let the destination know that the person who's arriving is also vaccinated, right? So, and here the crazy stuff we had is we developed within 2 days a full implementation in our system to make it happen for the agencies to request the vaccination status of the customers and to deliver this information to the authorities. So this was within 2 days, and we nowadays and still today we get the feedback from our customers that this was helping them, because otherwise they would not have opened their vacation rentals in these times to customers, because they did not saw any opportunity to handle this. So this was crazy, and this was made within 2 days from Henna, and this was a great job.
I love this. Yeah, crazy story, and everybody. A lot of time people forget about COVID, but was very active time for the operators of our
Yeah,
industry,
yeah,
and a super interesting story that I will share with others as well. And last thing,
yeah.
can people reach out to you if any they have any point, any question about your services, or can you share your email in the comments?
Sure, I can
I
do
will
that.
share mine as well.
Yeah, that's no problem. But I need to go. Yeah, here in this. Okay. Give me. I think I can't go into the chat. Can you support my
Yeah, sure. If you
so here we go. I have it send it to you.
great.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Cool. So, Philip, was a great pleasure chatting with you today. Thanks for the insights, the advice, and it was very pleasurable to know more about your story and your company, to get to dig deeper um, about all the topics that we touched. Thanks again, and hope to speak soon.
You're very welcome. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.